We are finally going to get an adaptation of Marvel's Armor Wars, except instead of Iron Man, we are getting War Machine at the center of the entire thing, and it looks like there's a lot of rumors, speculation, and probably truth behind the fact that it's going to connect to Iron Man 2. So when it comes to Armor Wars, we see that there's a few moving pieces in the MCU that make sense for this series to exist now, and of course its companion series, which will be Ironheart, because you're going to have Don Cheadle's Rhodey around as the new War Machine, sort of the Iron Face of the MCU, if you will. Somebody carrying on that mantle of a armored protector for the planet, and then you're going to have Ironheart come in and she has her own story and what happens. Now, seeing as to how Ironheart in the comics ends up stealing some tech and building her own armor, we can all assume that one of the big plots of Armor Wars will be like the comic, where there is tons of, for better or lack of term, bootleg armors out there from stolen tech, which again does make sense. So this is where a lot of reports and rumors come in to the fact that we're probably taking things all the way back and as far back as Iron Man 2 for callbacks, which if you really start thinking about it, why does Rhodes have the armor he has? It's because he stole it in Iron Man 2 and he retrofitted it thanks to Justin Hammer. And what else did Hammer do? Well, he made a ton of drones. So Armor Wars takes that essence, and Armor Wars also uses elements that they used in Iron Man 3 with all those different armors that were there. Now, if you think about it, you're sort of going to take all of these stories we've already seen, retrofit them around War Machine, and utilize callbacks, which Marvel Studios does all the time, and somehow tie it into the future of the MCU, which would be Ironheart, natural. And it's safe to say we can all assume that Justin Hammer will probably be returning to the MCU, and who knows what else they might be able to pull off here. I mean, if they're going all the way back as far as, let's say, Iron Man 2, why not just go a step further and go to Iron Man 1 and also tie it to Stane? I mean, you can bring in Ezekiel Stane. That would make sense and make more of a personal connection to everything from the beginning of the MCU, really. And again, let's talk about callbacks. In Iron Man 2, we see that it calls all the way back to the first Captain America movie with the Stark Expos and the Palladium and all that, and what Howard Stark was leaving around as clues. I mean, it can safely be assumed that Tony Stark probably did the same thing. He probably left some stuff in there for Rhodes to unlock that will help him utilize better technology. I mean, he did it for Spider-Man. Literally left him Edith and a whole network of his own. You gotta assume he's left stuff for Rhodey to be able to defend Earth once he's gone. So yeah, I definitely think the rumors of the callbacks to everything, especially Iron Man 2, will be very prevalent.